been here since 9. They could fire up to 14.5 miles away. They're currently targeted towards a little cafe on the M25. It's part of the Imperial War Museum's permanent exhibition. Before we concentrate on the wonderful bridge ahead of us, on our right-hand side, the glass-domed building, City Hall, home to our current Mayor Ken Livingstone, and the London Assembly, designed by Lord Norman Foster, opened July 2002. Has a few nicknames: the London Armadillo, the Beehive, but my favourite, Darth Vader's helmet. Now you're very welcome to go in there and have a wander up the wonderful spiral staircase you can see through the glass. Straight in front of us, the nation's, if not the world's, most famous bridge, Tower Bridge. First of all designed by Sir Horace Jones, but completed by various architects in 1894. This is a Bastille Bridge. Bastille is the second, not original by the way. The originals were replaced in 1924, but they used to open up to 10 times a day to let tall ships through. Now if you wave to the people on the bridge and they wave back at you, you get 5 years good luck. Oh, you desperate folk. Thank you Bill, thank you Tom, thank you Sue. And there's Dave taking a picture. And there's Ian, thank you very much. Thanks Dave, thanks Tom. It's okay, I know.
That's 10 years with the same.
There is a very serious element to that story, ladies and gents. This used to be the last bridge across the Thames where loved ones would wave off their young men and women going off to war, some returning 5 years later, many more of course not returning at all. And also waving off their young men. In 14, the old port was the busiest in the world. Some 50,000 ships a year used this area. Over 30,000 people were employed in the ports and the docks. Now some of those ships and boats had to wait for up to a month before they could store their goods in what were once the warehouses on either side of us. Up until 1939, the old port was one of the busiest in Europe. This was a working port and dock area right up until the 80s, regenerated into what we have now, these very cheap warehouse apartments. Now apparently, a one-bedroom apartment in this area would only set you back 1.8 million. Either side of the building were HSBC and Citibank. So we had another look at Tower Bridge. Now, the columns of Tower Bridge, they're designed this way to blend in with the Tower of London over on its right-hand side. High above, we have what was once a pedestrian walkway, which was sometimes used when the Bastilles were raised. What's up there now is a wonderful exhibition about the bridge's history. Now I mentioned that the walkway was sometimes used because it was easier for people to wait for the Bastilles to lower once they were raised instead of walking up the column, along the walkway and down the other side. And I do believe that many people did not want to venture up into the walkway anyway because the walkway was seen as a major crime area. Over on our right, beyond Tower Bridge and the Govan Hotels, we see another newish building to London, the 40-storey office block, the Gherkin. Designed by Lord Norman Foster and Ken Shuttleworth. In there at the moment is the insurance company, Swiss Re. I do believe they own about 15 to 20 floors of that building, therefore I believe the rest of it is empty. So not surprisingly, it's become the largest, most expensive office space in London. Top section, restaurant, cocktail bar, roof garden, bars on various floors of that building as well. It's about 3 years old. It cost about £250 million. Oh, thanks for waving. You've just lost us all 5 years. Good luck. But I can see that you don't care. So, the Gherkin on our right is about 3 years old. The Tower of London, first started by William the Conqueror. That will be the late 1070s, around about 1078. Redesigned by various monarchs who moved in over the centuries. The tower's most famous, of course, for being a fortress and a prison. We look along the Thames to our right, we can see the bricked-up entrance with the writing above it. Entry to the Traitors' Gate, known as the first one-way street in London, because once you go down it, you never come out. It was never always called the Traitors' Gate, was once known as Watergate. Watermen used to sail through that area, they nicknamed it Traitors' Gate. Only one person did return, as far as I'm aware. Yes, I think I've got it right. Princess Elizabeth, who was imprisoned by her half-sister, Queen Mary I. Now, the Tower of London has many functions throughout the centuries. It's believed the first elephant was seen over the tower in 1294. It's believed that Henry III had a polar bear chained up in the Thames outside the tower. Animals were kept there as well. It was once a zoo. It's been a Royal Observatory, Army and the Beefeaters. There are 21 towers at the Tower of London. And if you've not been to the tower, I recommend it highly. Latch yourself onto one of the Beefeaters. They'll tell you wonderful stories about the tower. Ahead of us and behind the trees on our right is Custom House, purpose-built for customs and excise since the 18th century. And if we continue looking to our with a shiny golden top. That shiny golden top is in the shape of a ball of fire, designed by Sir Christopher Wren to commemorate the rebuilding of London after the Great Fire. It's simply known as the Monument. It's 62 meters high from the base, the same distance away from where the fire started, Pudding Lane in that baker's shop. As you can see, there are people at the top of the monument. You can walk up there. There are 311 steps. The suicide point.